Julia Pendleton dropped in this evening to pay a social call and stayed a solid hour.
She started on the subject of family, and I couldn't switch her off.
She wanted to know what my mother's maiden name was.
What an unfortunate question to ask a person from an orphan asylum.
I hadn't the courage to say I didn't know.
Mrs. Lippett got all our names from the telephone book. Abbott was on the first page. She got Jerusha from a tombstone.
But I couldn't tell Julia that, so I miserably plumped for the first name I could think of. Montgomery.
Then she wanted to know whether we were the Massachusetts Montgomerys or the Virginian kind.
Her mother was a Rutherford. The family came over on the Ark.
And on her father's side, they date back further than Adam. I know it says and Eve, but the one of the other ones doesn't.
Oh.
Right there, see?
Oh, look at that.
It's,
Okay.
Eve is dropped in
That's
this
fine.
version.
Why don't you add it?
Adam and Eve?
Yeah.
Okay.
To make the
I can
correlation
do
with the
that.
arc.
Okay, and then you were right.
Yeah, okay, do it again.
Date back further than Adam and Eve.
Dear Daddy Longlegs, the postman brought me 3 letters today. All bills, which is all I ever get. Maybe one day I'll get a personal letter. What would that be like? I can only imagine.
Oh, you never answered my question, and it was very important.
Are you bald?
I have planned exactly what you look like, very satisfactorily, until I reach the top of your head, and then I'm stuck.
I can't decide whether you have white hair or black hair or sort of sprinkly gray hair or maybe none at all. Please inform. Oh, and
Oh,
Daddy,
then I go right in, right?
Yes.
did you ever hear of Michelangelo?
This is my favorite. I'm gonna cry.
No crying allowed, John.
He was a famous artist who lived in Italy in the Middle Ages. The whole class laughed because I thought he was an archangel.
Doesn't he sound like one? Even more embarrassing, somebody mentioned Florence Nightingale, and I asked if she was a freshman.
That joke has gone all over college.
You wouldn't believe, Daddy, what an abyss of ignorance my mind is.
The things that most girls with a properly assorted family and friends and a library know by absorption, I've never even heard of.
I didn't know that Henry VIII was married more than once, or Shelley was a poet. I didn't know Alexander the Great had conquered all of Greece, or people came from monkeys. I didn't know that the Garden of Eden was simply a beautiful myth. I never read Great Expectations, Summer on the Lake, Euripides' Electra. I never met the 2 noble kinsmen or ever came across the Merry Wives of Windsor. I always feel like I'm Alice in Wonderland, stranded in Vanity Fair. Once upon a time, oh Captain, my Captain, I'm so many years behind. I'm still so many years behind.
I didn't know that she'd be so clever. I never dreamed of such imagination. I never read thoughts so expressive. I really must reread The Count of Monte Cristo. What am I thinking? I'm missing appointments to read what she studied in French. I'm baffled, I'm perplexed. Oh Captain, my Captain, I really must get back to work. I wonder what she'll write me next.
I'd never heard of Meg, Jo, Beth, or Amy. I'd never been to Dover Beach or heard the phrase, a man's reach should exceed his grasp. I feel like the idiot or the toilers of the sea. Oh Captain, my Captain, all the world is first to me. A lady with a lamp I see. still so many years behind. Now, Daddy, I must sleep, but I will think of you. For Daddy, I know there is still much catching up to do.
P.S. Some of the girls sell their textbooks when they're through with them, but I intend to keep mine. Then after I graduate, I shall have my whole education in a row in the bookcase.
So much easier and more accurate than trying to keep it in your head.